are we just deceiving ourselves? In John chapter 16, verse number 13, Jesus said, "Yet when the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you to all truth." Jesus has promised that, a spirit that leads us, that takes us to nothing false, nothing wrong, nothing, a deception, but only to that which is true. So what is happening to us? We that are bragging that we have the Spirit, what is happening to us? That we make important decisions and we have regrets later into time. How is that possible? Where or what is the evidence that we have the Spirit that Jesus promised? Where was the Spirit when we were making such decisions? How can one marry and a few years into the marriage come back and say that I made a wrong choice of a spouse? Where was the Spirit when you were making the decision? How can the Spirit lead you or take you to the relationship or a fellowship of a wrong spouse, of a false spouse, of a spouse that is a deception? Why didn't the Spirit take you to the wife that is true? Are we deceiving ourselves that we have the Spirit when we really don't have the Spirit? How can we invest our monies in a bank that is false and the Spirit did not prompt us and we didn't know and we only got to know later when things backfired? Where was the Spirit? How come the Spirit didn't lead us to a bank that is true? And how come the Spirit didn't take us away from a bank that is a false or a lie? Do we really have the Spirit? Or we are just deceiving ourselves? How can somebody pretend? Somebody with bad motives pretend, knowing very well that they are coming with a false mindset and come and deceive you, that I will marry you, and you fall for the trick, you fall for the deception, and you still say you have the Spirit, and the Spirit did not lead you away from that falsehood to what is true. Do we really have the Spirit? I said this week we are only asking ourselves questions. Do we really have the Spirit? Or Jesus lied about the Spirit? Of course, Jesus did not lie about the Spirit. We, rather, do not have the Spirit. And, the pattern of our lives is just evident. We are deceiving ourselves with having the Spirit. We don't have the Spirit. How can you go to a church and have a false pastor or a false prophet deceive you and you never knew? Where is the Spirit that Jesus promised you that you say you have? The Spirit whose duty, whose responsibility, whose nature is only to take you away from falsehood, from that which is false, and only take you to that which is true. Where was that Spirit? All along when you have been in that church, when you were on the wrong side. Why do we make mistakes? Why do we take decisions and we end up having to know that we have made mistakes? Where is the Spirit that we claim we have? The Spirit that leads people that have Him to what is true. Where is that Spirit? Are we deceiving ourselves? Of course, it is evident. Looking at how our lives, are shaped and are patterned, we have no excuse and we have no defense and no argument that we have the Spirit. We just do not have the Spirit. And it is high time, it is for our own good that we accept the fact that we have the Spirit. If you ask the average Christian, do you have the Spirit? They will say yes. If you ask them what is your evidence, they will say I speak in tongues. But I tell you, many of the tongues we hear people speak are not genuine. So how can you really and truly see one that has the Spirit without focusing on tongue speaking? It should be by the sight and by the strikes that people make. People that have the Spirit that leads them to what is true, the Spirit that takes them to what is true, they make decisions and they make strikes that they have no regrets in the end. How can the Spirit take you to the wrong side? Have we not read about Peter, Sapphira, and Ananias. When falsehood came from Ananias and Sapphira to Peter, the spirit that Peter had, quickly exposed the falsehood to Peter. That Peter, don't fall for this trick. Don't subscribe. Don't believe these people. What they are telling you is not the truth. It is a lie. It is false. That is the spirit at work. And this is not working in our lives. It means that we just don't have the spirit. We should be honest with ourselves. And we should begin to desire and pray to God to give us the spirit. Because we cannot continue like this, making wrong turns and wrong strides. We do not know when our lives are going to end. And we do not know at what strike, wrong or good, that our lives will end by. May we begin to desire the spirit. And the evidence that we shall have that we have the spirit is the fact that our decisions shall begin to fall in line and manifest the truth of God. May God help us and bless us in the name of Jesus. Are we deceiving ourselves, or Jesus lied? Jesus did not lie. We are deceiving ourselves. May God help us to be honest and sincere with ourselves. God bless you. Bye-bye.
If you are blessed by this message, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel. God bless you.